We did these 2.5 years ago, and you would remember that the border used to be much narrower and there used to be a strip of grass in front. And that seems to have been the way historically for a very long time. But by having a greater depth of border, you could make it much more interesting. Things that flower all the year round. So, for instance, in the early spring, there's an anemone blanda, which is purpley blue. We've got foxtail lilies, Aramuris. You know, we've tried to provide a long season of colour. Purple and white works quite well here.
Yes.
Because it's in the shade in the morning, but later in the afternoon, of course, it's bathed in sunshine, and so you get those contrasts. So this is just 2 years old. It kind of demonstrates, if you choose your plants wisely, you can make a big impact very quickly. So the tall plant at the back is Aurelia relatia, and that was just planted 2.5 years ago. And then we've got Nandina domestica, yeah, and we've got Daphneodora for scent, because I thought in the spring I thought it would be nice for people sitting here to have a bit of scent. And Clerodendron trichotomum, which is again just a modified leaf, yes. So it folds back. Yes, they're still, you see how it bursts out of it, but then folds back, goes red, and their fruits are steel blue.
Good gracious.
And it'll be fruiting in October, so they pollinate very quickly and develop. We could have a wander along this wildflower border. Because this border had been cleared, that we just sow a wildflower mix, and it's been tremendously successful. A lot of this had become very overgrown, and particularly had a lot of tree seedlings in it. So in the last couple of years we've taken out all of those. We've cleared a lot of ivy off. So we're in the early stages of a restoration. It's interesting that some things have recovered, like the geranium macrorhizum. Things like campanulas have come back, re-emerged from under the ivy. So it is looking a lot better and a lot more interesting, and we have planted just a few things, cheap and cheerful things for the moment, but gradually all of this will improve. I mean, it's interesting because generally in Oxford colleges, rock gardens aren't a feature much. There's a whole series of yew trees planted along between the grasses. So when the grasses are cut down and the perovskea is cut down, you've got this nice architectural form. Just allowed them to grow up. But we've done a lot of work in this garden. We've reduced the hedge a lot, and I've shaped it so where the rose arches are, we've kind of mirrored the arch so that there's not a great gap between, you know, if you just reduce the hedge on a straight line, there'd be a great gap above the top part of the arch.
I see what you mean, yes. Yeah.
We've raised the hedge, so there's a feeling a bit more shelter. All these roses that everybody was depressed about because they wouldn't grow, we've made them grow, and they've flowered fantastically well this year.